Want to do now. We're still in our custom themes folder, and I want to actually add in my header.php and footer.php. Now remember, these are what we call template partials. That means that the user can come in and call these in, and we got a little bit of stuff that we need to add here. So let's just go ahead and just create us two files. The first one will be my header.php, and the next one will be my footer.php. So we got both of those. And I'm just going to start with my header.php. So what I want to do is I want to actually take everything that's in my head and header information, all that information, and copy that into this document. So let's go to our prototype and look at our site. So what I want to do is I want to take everything from the doc type down to the closing header tag, and I'm just going to hit Command C. And now I'm going to go back to my custom theme and just hit Command V. Okay, so we have all of that information in here now. Now, one thing that I do want to do, and we did this in class, is I actually want to get rid of my unordered list. Why? Because we want the user to be able to generate that content if they want to. So I'm going to come in and just delete this. Now I do want you to remember main navigation because we're going to come back and use that name. So I'm going to hit delete here. And that seems like that is good here. Alright. So let's go in and continue to play around with this. Okay, now we don't have to query in our header or our footer because simply this is the header.php file. So what we want to do is we got this here, and there's a couple things that we want to do. The first thing that I want to do is I want to actually tell WordPress where my head ends, and we do that pretty easy. So here what I want you to do, let's write PHP. Okay, and what I want to do is write WP underscore head. Alright, and what that's going to do is it's going to tell WordPress where my actual head ends, and that's all I need to do there. Okay, now over here we need some code, and remember we want WordPress to be able to generate this content for us. So we need to go in and write some code. And what we're going to do is we're going to write an array. Now remember, array is just a set of elements. And let's start this off. So let's come in right under here and let's say PHP. And let me just add my closing. So that looks pretty good. And I want to say WP underscore nav underscore menu. Now this is in the WordPress documentation, so I just got it literally from there. And then let's put in our quotes here. And what I want to do is I want to create an argument for this. So I'm going to say money sign ARG. So we're going to say argument equals an array. Now remember, an array is just a set of elements. Now let me go in and add my other quotes. And we're going to hit enter. And before I forget, let's just put a semicolon there. And I do want to make sure that this stuff works, so I'm going to test it out pretty soon. Okay, so we got that. And what I want to do is I want to come in and say, hey, I want to create a menu underscore class. And remember, we were going to come back to that name, main navigation. So if you had something named a little bit differently, just make sure that you put that there. And this is going to be our main navigation. This was the name of the class that my navigation was built on. And then let's just put a comma. And then let's come to our next line. And let's come in, and I want to give this a theme location. So I'm going to say theme underscore location. Okay, and we're going to say equals and add in our closing bracket, and then let's say this is for our primary navigation. And I'm going to hit save, And this is the code that you need. And I'm just doing a little house cleaning here. This is what we need. And we should be set there. And that's all we need for our header.php. Alright, so let's go in and fix up our footer.php. Make sure you save that. Let's go to our footer.php. And what I want to do is copy in my information from the footer. So let's go to our prototype and go down to footer. And I want to grab everything from the footer all the way to the body and the HTML tag. Now you will have like a little bit of red for those, but that's fine. WordPress will connect it all. And let's jump back to our custom theme and paste this in. Like I said, you got a little bit of red, that's fine. Okay, so remember, let's come in and just delete this. Let's just delete our unordered list. Okay, so that way we have this actually set up. Okay, now what I want to actually do now, and actually I don't even really need, you could delete the nav tag. I'll leave it here. We shouldn't have any problems. We'll see. If we need to make changes, we'll go back. But what I want to do at this point is I want to come in and give this a little bit of information. Now I do need to tell it where my footer ends. So let's go in and say PHP. And we're going to say, hey, we want this footer to end. So we're going to say WP. This is where it ends. WP underscore footer. And let's put that in there. Just like that. And we're good. Cool deal. And I'm going to hit save. And we're good to go. Now, what I do want to do here is I do want to add my PHP. The same thing that we did. Now, like I said, you're not even required to even add a navigation in this. So if you wanted to skip this step, feel free. If you just want a copyright symbol on your theme, hey, I'm totally fine with that. That's no issue whatsoever. But let's come in and say PHP. Let's add our closing PHP. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to set up an argument for this in an array. So with that being said, let's do WP underscore. And I'm going to say nav underscore menu. WP underscore nav menu. And then let's set up an argument for this. So we're going to say money sign ARG equals, and let's say we're going to set this up as an array. Okay. And just put your semicolon there. Now let's go in and say, hey, menu class, menu underscore class. Okay. And we're going to say this is equal to our footer navigation. And you can see that my class is footer navigation for my nav. Alright, so that is good there. I'm pretty happy here. And then let's do a comma. And then we're going to say location. So this is our theme location underscore location. And let's say equals bracket. And we're going to say, hey, this is for our footer. Like I said, you don't have to put a footer there, but that's it. So this completes our setup for our footer. And we're good. Let's hit save. And we're done.